Hello students, welcome to the video lecture session on industrial drives and applications. As our discussion is going under module 2, last class I have discussed about the multi-quadrant operations of DC separately excited motor fed from fully controlled rectifier and chopper control of separately excited DC motor. Today I am going to discuss selection of motor power rating. Okay. Under this thermal model of motor for heating and cooling, classes of motor duty, determination of motor ratings. Okay, this is the syllabus. Under this, today I'm going to discuss the thermal model of motor for heating and cooling. The power rating of motor for a specific application must be carefully chosen to achieve economy with reliability. So the power rating of the motor should be selected in such a manner that it should be in economy and reliability. Use of a motor having insufficient rating either fails to drive the load as its normal productive level or lowers the productivity and reliability. So if motor rating is not selected in proper, so that it fails to fails to drive the load. Okay. On the other hand, if the power rating is decided liberally, so that you are taken extra, so the what will be happens, the extra initial cost and the extra loss of energy due to operation below rated power makes the choice uneconomical. It means if the motor rating is selected over rating, so what it will be happens, it will be operated in under rating, hence there will be a losses, it is not economical. Okay, so here we have to choose in a proper rating of the motor. Here, depending on the temperature limit, insulating material employed in electric machines are divided into classes depending upon the temperature limits. Okay, insulating materials, here the different temperature limits and classes are given here. Okay, 90 degree, 105 degree, depending upon the temperatures, the classes are classified A, B, C, D, E, like that. Okay, let us have a discussion of thermal model of motor for heating and cooling. Here a small one derivation is there. I will discuss here how will get here heating and cooling curve and what are the terms are related here. Now I will discuss. Okay, let the machine, which is assumed to be a homogeneous body, and the cooling medium has following parameters at time t. Okay, let P1 is heat developed joules per second or watts. P2 is heat dissipated to the cooling medium joules per second. W is weight of the active part of machine in kg. H is specific heat joules per kg per degree centigrade. A is cooling surface area, that is meter square. D coefficient of heat transfer of specific heat dissipation, joules per second per meter square per degree centigrade. Theta is mean temperature rise in degree centigrade. With this, we can write this equation. I will show you here in next slide. How we have to obtain here means heat absorbed or stored in the machine. So how much heat it will be stored inside the machine is nothing but what? Heat developed inside the machine minus heat dissipated to the surrounding cooling media. If you are doing so, how much, what we will get? We will get heat absorbed in the or heat stored in the machine is nothing but what? Heat developed inside the machine minus heat dissipated surrounding cooling medium. So this it should will be written in the equation. Heat developed inside the machine is WH d theta. Okay. So all this WH d theta is belongs to here. If you are going through here, W is what here you can see weight of the active parts of machine. H is specific heat. Okay. So now we will obtain this equation. Okay. P1 and P2. If you are looking to this, P1 is nothing but what we are mentioned here. P1 we are mentioned heat dissipated to the cooling media. Sorry, heat developed. P1 is mentioned at heat developed. P2 is heat dissipated. So that I can write P1 minus P2. P1 minus P2. The same equation here it is. If you are looking to this one, P1 minus P2, where dt is the time, change in time. Okay. So we can obtain with this P2 equation. So rearranging the terms, we will get C is where we are taking this is equal to WH. So here this is a equation solving the first order differential equation. This equation 4.3, if you are solving this 4.3 equation, we will get the theta is equal to theta SS plus KE raised to, sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so by solving the differential equation 4.3, it has a solution. Okay, theta is equal to theta SS plus KE raised to minus T by 2, where 2 is the time constant. It will be obtained here. Okay, theta SS is nothing but P1 by D. So the other constants what we had used, which as the dimensionless time is known as the heating or thermal time constant of the machine. So which it will be gives the theta SS, theta is the thermal time constant. Okay, which is the dimension of time known as the heating or thermal time constant of the machine. And here one more thing I want to explain. Just I will go back. If you are looking to the here, C and D heat dissipation constant watts per degree mainly occurs through the convention. Typical values of D, small d, are in the range of 40 of 600 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. Okay. Now we will obtain here the cooling curve. Now, so for earlier what I discussed, that is heating curve. Now it will be cooling curve. Cooling it will be begins when it will be begins. It will be begun if when you are thrown off, means you are the instant the load is thrown off, then the cooling it will be starts. Okay, again here the this equation, first order differential equation subject to the initial condition theta is equal to theta 2. Why means because theta 2 is the temperature is raised, and now it will be at the point of theta 2 it will be decreases. Okay, why you are taken theta is equal to theta 2 means the at first phase we can say that heating, second curve it will be shows like that if I'm plotting. Okay, this is temperature. If motor is loaded and temperature will be raised, okay, this temperature is theta 2 we are mentioned because already temperature is there. Now at this instant the motor is turned off so that temperature will be reduces, cooling operation it will be begun here. From where it will be becomes from the theta 2, so hence it will be taken here theta 2. Okay, and similarly here other constants are taken similar fashion in the cooling. Okay, now here you can see we will obtain the equation heating and cooling. Okay, this is the heating curve and this is for cooling curve. Okay, this theta it will be increased from here to here heating, and when the load is removed that it will become down. This is called cooling. This equation you have to write. Okay, now if motor were disconnected from the supply during the cooling, then P1 dash is equal to theta SS steady state dash is equal to 0, suggesting that the final temperature attained by the motor will be ambient temperature. Okay, it means what? Motor were disconnected means the totally it will be disconnected from the supply, so that the temperature it will be goes to the 0. Okay, so substituting in the equation 4.11 we will obtain this equation, what temperature it will be say. Okay, this is one numeric question is given here. Let's we'll solve afterwards because simple that equation only it will be used here. Okay, next is classes of motor duty. Classes of motor duty, it means here the motors are operated in whether it will be operated in continuous duty, short time duty, intermediate periodic duty, intermediate periodic duty with starting, intermediate periodic duty with starting and breaking, continuous duty with intermediate periodic loading, continuous duty with starting and breaking, continuous duty with periodic speed change. Okay, this is an important question. Okay, in the way of examination, explain the classes of motor duty under IS 4722 196 1968 categories. They are divided in these groups. Okay, let us have a glance over one by one. First one is the continuous duty. Continuous duty means what? The load which will be there in the continuous. It denotes the motor operating at a constant load torque. Okay, if you are looking to this graph, load is constant. Okay, load is constant. For a duration long enough for the motor temperature to reach steady state value. This duty is characterized by a constant motor loss. Okay, paper mills drives compressors, conveyors, centrifugal pumps and fans are some examples of continuous duty. Okay, here what it is there, it will be continuous motor, it will be turned on and there will be load is throughout the operation it will be constant. Throughout the load it will be, throughout the operation load is constant. Temperature rise it will be there in the this, it will be rise, and it will be one sentence here, it will be given, concentrate here, motor operation at constant load torque for a duration long, here duration long enough for the motor temperature to reach steady state value. It means motor is operated in continuous duty, its temperature rise theta double s, theta ss, steady state, it takes longer durations to reach steady state value. Okay, it's me. The motor is operated with a constant load and it will be continuous. Let's have a second one. Short time duty. Short time duties means what? In this time of drive operation is considerably less than the heating time constant, and machine is allowed to cool off to ambient temperature before the motor is required to operate again. Once the motor is started, temperature rise it will be take place, and it allows, next what we are doing, we are turning off, and it will be goes to the temperature, it's zero position, zero value. Okay, it means the operation in cooling operation it will be allowed to go its ambient temperature. Next again you are turning on, in this instant. I will draw here. Okay, so again what it will be happens, the temperature will be rise, and again it will be decreases. Hence it will be operated in short duration, hence this it is classified as duty, short time duty. Okay, in this operation the machine can be overloaded until temperature at the end of loading time reaches the permissible limit. What they will do, the motor will be overloaded until temperature at the end of loading time reaches the permissible limit. Okay, some of examples are cranes, dryers, household appliances, turning bridges, slice gate dryers. Okay, so here the short time duty motors. Okay, I conclude this here. It will be operated for a sometimes, and it will be overloaded, and after this it will be allowed to cool down to ambient temperature, again loading will be done. Next one is intermediate periodic duty. It consists of periodic duty cycle. Each consists of a period of running at a constant load and a rest period. Neither the duration of running period is sufficient to rise the temperature to a steady state value, nor the rest period is long enough for the machine to cool off to ambient temperature. Here earlier second one, the short time, we are allowed to the cool down to ambient temperature. In this category, intermediate periodic duty, it is not enough to reach the steady state temperature. I will take pen. Okay, steady state temperature it will be not reach, and it will not reach, nor it reaches to the zero here. Before this one, again loading is there. Here you can see this is the load. Okay, load is removed here means the temperature it will be decreases. Both the things are here. One is it is not allowed to the steady state temperature rise, and it second one is it is not allowed to cool down. it is not allowed to cool down to 0. Okay, hence it will be intermediate, it is operated, name is called intermediate periodic duty. Motor will be turned on, load is available, load is removed, again it will be turned on. So correspondence temperature rise it will be shows. Examples just you have to go through. Pressing machine. Pressing machine means what it will be happens during the pressing there will be a load is there. When you are removing the press, then what it will be happens, load is removed means the temperature it will be decreases. Okay. Next one is intermediate period duty with starting. Okay. This is the intermittent periodic duty where heat losses during starting cannot be ignored. Thus, it is consist of a period of starting, a period of operation at a constant load, and a rest period, with operating and rest periods being too short for the respective steady state temperatures to be attained. Okay, here what it will be happens, starting is considered intermediate periodic duty with starting. The starting temperature, if you are looking to the here, you can see here this figure, from here to here starting load is there, so hence it will be considered here. Okay, and after this starting it will be load will be more. Okay, temperature rise will be more, so there will be a slight decrease in this one, so you can see because due to this part decrease. Okay, next what it is there, load is removed here, temperature will be decreases, but it will be not goes to the 0. Before that the next period it will be starts. This is called rest period, you can say. In between these next loading, or we can say that one loading is over here, again next loading there will be a period is called rest period. Okay. During this what it will be happens, the temperature will be decreases, you can see here, but it will be not goes to the ambient temperature, or it will not reaches to the 0. Next again load is applied, temperature will be rises. This graph will be repeated, this part again it will be repeated here. Okay, for example of metal cutting and drilling tool drives. Okay, go through this some examples. I hope it is understood, right? I will go for next. Intermediate periodic duty with starting and breaking. Okay, starting and breaking. This is the intermediate periodic duty where heat losses during starting and breaking cannot be ignored. So breaking also there will be a heat loss, so that you cannot ignore, that also it is considered here. Thus it consists of a period starting, a period of operation with constant load, a breaking period with electrical breaking, and rest period. I repeat here which are the periods. First one is starting, second one is operation, third one is constant load, fourth one we can say that a breaking period. Okay, with electrical breaking, and a rest period. Next is the rest period. After rest period again there will be a operating, means the cycle it will be repeats, with operating and a rest periods being too short for the respective steady state temperature to be attained. The rest period is not enough to cool down to ambient temperature. It will be a short period, so that it will be being too short for the respective steady state temperature to be attained. These are the examples are given here, just to go through. Okay, here you can see, if you are looking to this, I will explain. I'll take pen, right? So this is the starting there will be a load is there, hence temperature at this instant the starting current reduces, so that only load it will be available, steady state load. Temperature will be rises here. Braking also temperature rise, it will be shown here reverse. Okay, electrical braking, I will already have discussed in the earlier class. The electrical brakings can be done as plugging. For an example, plugging means if you are interchanging these two terminals, so that braking you can obtain, motor can be stopped. When during this braking operations, the temperature rises. If you are looking to this graph, you can see at this part, it will be shown in the reverse because the terminals are reversed there, but temperature rise inside the motor is there, if you are looking to this. Okay, then rest period is not enough to cool down to ambient temperature. It will not reaches to the zero if you are looking to this graph here. Again, loading period, so it will be continuous. I hope this is clear. Intermediate periodic duty with starting and braking, both it is considered. Earlier only starting is considered, braking also considered. So during the starting and braking, there will be a temperature rise, that it is considered in this intermediate periodic duty with starting and braking. Okay. Next one is continuous duty with intermediate periodic loading. The explanation is there. Okay, its meaning is continuous duty with intermediate periodic loading. It consists of periodic duty cycles. Just a moment. Okay, each consisting of period of running at a constant load and a period of running at no load with normal voltage across the excitation winding. Again, the load period and no load period being too short for the respective temperature to be attained. Okay, so here what it is there, continuous duty, they are putting the some load and there will be a no load. Again they are putting the load. Okay, putting the load. Then no load period being too short for respective temperature to be attained. This duty is distinguished from the intermediate periodic duty by the fact that a period of running at a constant load is followed by a period of running at no load instead of rest. So earlier what it is there, it will be derived from there, earlier continuous intermediate duty only, but here what it is there, in the no load followed by the period of running at no load instead of rest. Here what they will do, instead of rest, earlier I have discussed rest. Okay, temperature will be goes to the zero, ambient temperature, or there is no load, it will be goes to the zero. But in this case what it is there, they are considering the running at no load. Okay, some examples are here given. Okay, pressing, cutting, okay, machines, just have to go through these examples, some of you have to remember. Next is the continuous duty with starting and braking. So here what it is there, it is a consist of periodic duty cycle, each having a period of starting, period of running at a constant load, and a period of electrical braking. There is no period of rest. This is the difference. Earlier there will be a rest, here it is no rest. Again it will be cycle, it will be continuous. Hence it is called continuous duty with starting and braking. Okay, these are the example. The main drives of blooming mill in an example. Next one is continuous duty with periodic speed changes. Okay, continuous duty with periodic speed changes consist of periodic duty cycle, each having a period of running at one load and speed, and another period of running at different speed. So it means first it will be motor, it will be started with a particular speed, then second what it is there on load and speed, and another period of running at different speed and load. Again both operating periods are too short for respective steady state temperatures to be attained. Further, there is a no period for rest. These are the 2 points you have to remember. Okay, there will be a rest period, will be the two shots for respective steady state temperature to be attained. Further, there is no period of rest. Sorry, no period of rest. It means what? Just I repeat my sentence here. Continuous duty with periodic speed changes. First, what they will do, they will be putting the load, okay, periodic cycle, each having a period of running at one load and speed, and another period what it will be happens, the different speed running at different speed and load. Again, both operating periods are too short. Operating periods are very short, okay. It will not attain the steady state temperature, and there is no rest period, means again loading it will be done, okay. I repeat here that load with one speed, next load with another speed. There is no rest period, means there will be a no rest period here, okay. Hence it is called continuous duty with periodic speed changes. Periodic speed changes means in each loading there will be a speed, it will be changes. These are the graphs all I have discussed. Okay. Next bit is determination of motor rating, that I will discuss in the next class. Okay. With this, I conclude this session. Thank you.